Well, stuff it. We're gonna take half a stick of non-dairy butter and drop it in. Then what we're going to do is take our grapeseed oil, and the reason we're using grapeseed oil as opposed to another sort of oil is because it cooks at higher temperatures and it complements the flavor of fruit. Burner on to medium-high so that it'll have a nice steady cook with the butter and the grapeseed oil. Normally on Thanksgiving, you have to leave your bread sitting out for a day so that it's stale and perfect for stuffing, but this gluten-free, dairy-free bread is already dry, so it's perfect for our Thanksgiving stuffing. We're going to cut it and we're going to plop it right into our little butter grape oil mix. Okay. We're going to cut our bread into about inch pieces, small inch pieces, so you know, you get the delicious flavor of the tiny bread in your stuffing. Okay, and we are ready to plop it in. Use any gluten-free, dairy-free bread that you'd like, but you know, whatever you prefer. But besides this raisin bread, we made cranberry bread about 2 days ago, and it's right here, and it's perfect for this recipe. It's a nice big loaf, delicious. Okay. Also, we are going to add some apple cider, and it's about 2½ cups. And basically it's just enough to moisten the bread. So we're going to pour it in. Well, stuff it. And that's all you need. That's it. That's all you need. You're going to take a spoon, a little spatula thing, you're just going to mix it around. See how the bread is really soaking up the apple cider. And that's what I just want to add enough apple cider to where, see what's kind of happening, it's just absorbing it, and every step of the way you can add a little more bread, a little more apple cider, you know, whatever kind of bread you're using, I don't know, but we're using raisin and cranberry, and it's so good, smells so good. The cranberry bread, which I'm really excited for because we made this 2 days ago. Finally, we're ready to bake it. Perfect for this recipe. I'm a lover of cranberry bread, and this is gluten-free and dairy-free, and you can't tell. Somewhat around 1-inch pieces again, but this is a little more of a thicker bread. When you hear this popping sound, that means you need to add more liquid, and so we're gonna go, and bread intact. You don't want to be eating mush. That's just not appetizing. So now we're going to add the cranberry bread in, and I think we have enough, so we're going to grab it, sprinkle it in. It's a nice addition to your, break it up a little bit maybe. If you think the pieces are too big, you know, you can cut them in half with your fingers, it's not a big deal. This bread is a little more moist than the raisin bread, so you can allow it to be in bigger pieces. It's not a big deal. It's really good.
Did you just eat that?
I couldn't help myself. Okay. Alright. Let's just throw the rest of this in. And hear that dry sizzle, so just throw the rest of this orange juice in. And I think we're good on mixing right now. I just want to really get that orange juice underneath the stuffing. Okay, that's good for now. And we're going to start adding some seasonings. So we're going to add some nutmeg, some cinnamon, and some, what's this? Ooh, some cardamom. Oh, sounds so good. Okay. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to take our tablespoon, and we're just going to, done. Ooh, cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I cannot even tell you how much I love it. It just adds the perfect flavor to, this is I know it looks like a lot of seasoning when it's just sitting on top of it, but really, this is a lot of stuffing. It calls for, you know, a lot of stuff. And now we're going to take our ingredients, our little seasonings, we're going to mix it around. Grab it in chunks, make sure not to, you don't want to slice the bread pieces in half because then it's creating mush. Let's shut off the heat because I think it's done cooking. There was nothing raw in it, so we just wanted to kind of heat up the bread basically and get on our juices, let it soak up. And you need heat for that, so perfect. Now we have that. So you know it's done when, well, let's see. Yeah. See? I'm pinching it and it's moist, but it's not so moist that it's gonna collapse. It's holding its integrity, and it's really just a perfect piece of bread. Stop cooking. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move it over to here, and we're gonna let it cool to room temperature so it'll be ready to, well, stuff it. We're gonna let it cool to room temperature before we put it in the turkey.
Alright, so now we're going to take a pastry brush dipped in grapeseed oil, and we're just going to pat around it, and it's going to really maximize the potential for crust on the stuff.